Hey guys, it's Mike from Baltimore Rides here. It's in the wee hours of Thursday morning, about almost 1 a.m. Obviously this is a Wednesday night video. Just wanted to kind of give you my trials and tribulations. Went down to the airport from a ride from the city to the airport, and I did not hang out. I bugged out early. Then I drove around the city for a little bit, made almost $70, all Uber, no Lyft rides. Then I got pulled down to the airport again, and this time I waited, got a $20 ride out of the airport, which seems to be about my average. Just my luck. I know people are scoring big at the airport. I am not in that squad, apparently. So I said, you know what, screw it, I'm not going back again. It was about 11 o'clock at this point, and I said, I'm just done with the airport for the night. Turned on Uber, turned on Lyft, and started to make my way north. And I did a bunch of little runs in and around Pasadena, Glen Burnie, Catonsville. It is now 1 a.m. I have not made it back into the city yet, because every time I get close, I get pulled. So I turned off both my apps. I am going to actually make it into Baltimore City, and then hopefully either get some bar closing scene money or a big fare of somebody leaving the bar and going out. So I'm getting off at Russell Street. I'm going to kind of take the Pratt Street to Fells Point route and just see if I get somebody that's leaving the city, or I get a lot of little bar scene hops. But I'm at about $125. It's not really where I wanted to be. I was kind of hoping to do 200 tonight, but I'd settle for a regular weeknight 150 finish at this point. I'm feeling pretty awake. I have had 2 cups of coffee. I have no beverages in the car at this point. I finished my last cup of coffee right when I left the airport that second time. So, if I can find a late night Dunkin' Donuts, then I could probably keep running even later. But at this point, I probably am going to run out of steam by about 4 a.m. So we'll see what happens. Again, BWI, love-hate relationship. I'm not going to lie there. So we'll just take it day by day. I'm going to stop at this gas station and pee. And I'll catch you guys later. Bye. Hey guys, we are wrapping it up for the night. Let me put my window up so you can hear me better. Wrapping it up for the night. It's about 2:20. I made my 150 goal. I did not make my stretch goal for the night to catch up for my horrible yesterday. So ended up being lots of little rides. 40, let's call it $50, $48 in Lyft and $106 in Uber. So, it's kind of like the 1/3, 2/3 equation right now, which I've noticed is about average. And one of the observations I'm starting to make is that Lyft is more popular with the younger folks. And I say that being an old fart, a 40-year-old old fart myself, I can get away with saying that. But, 20-somethings tend to gravitate to Lyft, and I think 30-somethings and above are using Uber. And I'm being super general here, guys. I know that that's not hard, fast rules. It's just my observations, because, there's some things that go along with that. Predominantly young people are not tipping very well. They don't seem to tip in-app. They don't seem to tip with cash. I don't know if that's just because, my generation, the Gen Xers and the baby boomers, which was my parents' generation, maybe we didn't teach them well enough that tipping is a thing. I'm not really sure if that's the case or not. I'm just speculating at 2 in the morning. But I tend to notice that, and I've noticed it even with the past couple months just driving solely for Uber, young people do not tip. And I don't know why. I really don't know why. I haven't honestly had that conversation with anybody. It's probably a hard conversation to have, and I probably should just be candid and ask somebody one night, is that something that your generation just doesn't believe in? or you personally don't believe in? What are your thoughts on tipping? Because, and I'm on the bridge going over the reservoir into Eldersburg, guys. I'm taking a different route home tonight because I was in Randallstown-ish, Owings Mills, finishing up. So this is the way I decided to go home. But it's just something I've noticed. So maybe that's a conversation I need to have, and I probably will in the next couple nights when I get somebody in the car that I feel I can be candid with. Because if that's a thing, then maybe that's something I can think through, and there's a better way to market to that customer that tipping is part of how we make our livelihood. So that's a to be continued. I'm going to kind of table that and do some homework because I don't know what the answer is to that, guys. But tipping electronically through the app seems to be pretty consistent. I'm still walking away every night with $10, $15 in tips, which is down from before, but I think tipping kind of comes in waves, guys. And I've had nights where I do really well and I get $20, $30, $40 in tips in one night, and then I've had nights where I don't get any tips. So I think my average is probably $20 to $30 a night in tips. And right now it's consistent, but right now it's probably half electronic and half cash. So, and I think the gradual evolution is going to go more and more to electronic, but there's still going to be those folks, like the great folks that I got tonight. I picked them up from Morton's Steakhouse, which is attached to the Sheraton, and they were just awesome folks. And I dropped them off and they gave me cash tips. And speaking of that, do not recommend anybody stay at the Sheraton on Conrad Street. And I'll tell you for why. I've got a great story. The night security guard, I guess he's kind of like the valet / security guard. He is an ass. Pardon my language, guys, but he is just a real jerk. I came off Conrad Street because I saw the pickup was Morton's, and I assumed that my customer was a hotel patron who maybe was just standing on the sidewalk when they dropped their pin, and it put them at Morton's instead of the valet. So I, of course, came in the Sheraton valet, which is that kind of corner, catty corner, on the wrong way. And this guy at midnight, now it's 12:15, there's no cars, there's no one, there's just me and him, came running out and freaked out like I had, stormed the White House. I mean, he made it out like it was the end of the world. And I said, look, buddy, I'm sorry. Let me go up here to the street and make a little, 3-point turn, and I'll turn my car so it's facing the right way. So I did. And I stopped and I put my blinkers on and I started going into the app to confirm arrival. And he came over to my window and was like, what are you waiting for? I said, I'm picking up somebody. I don't know if it's a customer or an employee, but I'm picking somebody up here. What's the problem? So he walks away for 5 minutes. I'm, for like, 2 minutes or so. I'm still waiting for my customer. I'm on the phone with them trying to figure out where they are. He comes back. Hey, man, are you picking up for the hotel or for Morton's? I said, I'm picking up for Morton's. It's the restaurant in your hotel. What's the problem? Oh, can you back up and get on the side of the road? I'm like, yeah, I can do that and one better. I will never refer anybody to your hotel again because you're a jerk. So that's my little public service message, guys. I don't know who that guy is. I don't know what his name was, but he was a real piece of you-know-what. So I will make it a point to always talk badly about the Sheraton. I know there's probably some great people that work there that he does not influence. And I apologize if you work at the Sheraton and you feel that, he's not a good representation of your team. But man, what a jerk. It's not like it was 4 in the afternoon and there was a million people moving around and cars all over the place. It was midnight. Timber weeds were rolling through, or dust bunnies were rolling through the parking lot or the valet entrance. It was just me and him. There was nothing going on. There was no reason for him to be a jerk. None whatsoever. I mean, if he had been cool and said, hey, look, man, I get yelled at. My neck is on the line if you come in backwards. I'd have been like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I would have turned right around. But he had no reason to be all militant about it. So, you know, because of course that emotion just puts me in a negative emotion, and then no one gets where we need to be. So there's my little PSA. I'm venting, and I appreciate you guys listening to me vent. I'm about $50 down from where I want to be. Obviously, 2 weeknights should be $300 or $150 a piece. I'm a little bit disappointed that I'm not at my goal, and I'm taking Saturday night off because I have something going on downtown that I have to go to. So, you know, ultimately I wanted to be a little bit ahead of schedule because I'm going to lose a Saturday night's worth of business. So we'll see what happens. Again, the airport is my nemesis. Love-hate relationship, call it what you will. I am not a fan of the airport. So tomorrow when I hit it, I'm not going near the airport. I'm taking a stand. I'm putting my planting my flag that I am against the airport right now because it has not done me justice. So, you know, if a patron brings me down there, my new rule is 30 minutes. 30 minutes or less. If I don't see a ride coming my way in 30 minutes or real damn close, I'm bugging out, guys. I just can't do it. I've got to set some standards, because look at what I did tonight. I did $150 on just regular customers, you know, bopping them around here, there, and everywhere. And there's money to be, and I honestly wasn't in the city all that much. I think 2 or 3 of my rides came from the city. The rest of them came from what I would consider to be the outlying areas of the city: Catonsville, Pasadena, Glen Burnie, Owings Mills, Reisterstown, Randallstown. You know, the outskirts, not the city proper. So money can be made. All of my customers tonight were great people. Not one of them was sketchy or weird or, you know, creepy or any of those things. They were just good people going to work, coming home from work, whatever, you know, that deserved a ride home. And for those Uber drivers out there that are, you know, I'm not going to say prejudiced, but biased towards the city. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit harder on your car. I mean, sure, there's potholes and bumps, and it's kind of, you know, traffic lights, so you maybe stop and go. But there's money to be made, and they're good people. I've never really had a problem, you know, never really had an issue that I felt unsafe or, you know, whatever. Just good people, guys. So, you know, don't turn a blind eye to some good customers. Okay, guys? I'm going to sign off here. I will post these videos, and there you have it, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Everybody get some rest, and we'll hit it again hard tomorrow. Bye.